I have HDZero setup and DJI. And these are the things that I like to grab. These are the things that I like the most. I like shoving this in my bag with my Radio Master pocket and one of my quads, and it makes me so happy. I made all this stuff for me, for exactly kind of what I want, and it's so specific that one of the things that makes it so great and terrible is that it's so custom tailored to each specific part.
Someone who created something so complicated.
So lots of the time when you buy something on the market, you can just stick any camera in it. You can just put whatever electronics in it.
But whatever they did, it wasn't enough!
And these you can to a certain point, but with all the different camera sizes, it does become a lot more hard to have fixed camera mounts and stuff like that. The nice thing is that the frames are good, they're solid. Everything about them I'm very happy with. But I'm going to start making some more options that are more user-friendly so that you can just be able to pick something up and put just about any camera in it. Every time that someone buys a drone off me, I can't just ship it to them. I have to ask you, which camera are you using, which video system, because I kind of like having that fully customized. You know exactly how much space you need in between standoffs. You know exactly what camera you're using, and being able to kind of make a fully customized drone just for you. And I really kind of love that. But at the same time, it just makes a lot more work for me.
I was up all night.
Than being able to just pack it and send it, you know? So I don't know. Tell me, do you... I don't know. Today we're going to be taking a look at my two favorite main quads.
Huh?
The Great Discus here in pusher formation and in regular formation.
We have different faces.
I've worked for the past few years, first of all, make some really nice solid balanced frames that would be compatible with just about anything so that you could design kind of just custom stuff and keep building on the same
Inside, we are same frame. Same, but different.
Different formations, different prints, allowing them to be able to do different things.
But still same.
And we're going to be looking at footage, what you actually see without the GoPro and Action Cam. You're going to be seeing from the Foxeer Predator V5 and the Runcam Nano Phoenix 2. Those are my two favorite analog cameras, I think. The Predator 5, I actually don't really like how it looks. And you'll notice in the night footage, it looks pretty like contrasty and stuff. But even though I don't like the image as much, it's very sharp and I feel like it does allow me to get more details. Whereas I really do like the way that the Runcam Nano Phoenix video looks. So those are the cameras I'm usually using with analog. Other than that, I use the Ant because I find that the Ant, the cheapest durable camera, like these cheap Ant cameras never seem to break on me. They just last forever and they work and they're light. We've taken the Mobula 8 and basically just transfer it over to here to create a cinematic rig, which I'm still working on to try and make it super light and add protection. Without protection, it's more like that and it flies great. But our V1, it keeps cracking there because I didn't put enough material around the motors. The V2, happy to report, has been doing great, taken lots of hits, and hasn't been breaking. But before I release anything to anyone, I test the crap out of it because I don't want people buying stuff like this. So all the frames that I cut actually like this, if you order any frame off me, I'll send you one of those frames for free because I won't sell them to anyone. I've made a naked GoPro that goes on here, and that's been really great. This has been one of my main rigs. Like whenever you see the beautiful footage is coming off this GoPro. The way that it's done is these prints, these TPU prints, you can print them at different angles and you can match the camera angle to the GoPro angle and then screw it in. And because it's TPU, it gives. So this camera has lasted me a long time, longer than any of my other action cams. And we have the print that also protects it. I don't bother with ND filters. I just fly during golden hour. I think that ND filters are fine, and if you have to do work or something, then use them. To me, fly during golden hour. Fly when the sun is coming up, fly when the sun is going down, and if you do that, you don't have to touch an ND filter. So now let's take a look. We're working on the ballerina. We've already kind of made it. It's a 4-inch, and it flies really, really great. But there's no motor protection, so it's very good for, like, if you fly a Flywoo Explorer and you like that long-range kind of stuff and you're not flying like an idiot, then this drone is perfect. It's lighter and stronger than the Flywoo Explorer. It's just great. Nice. The other thing that's cool is that this has the same base as the Great Discus, so you can actually take this print and put it on the Great Discus, which is the 3.5. Or you can take a top plate and this stuff and you can put it on the 4-inch, because they're fully like interchangeable and compatible with each other. And then now that I've messed around with racing, I've realized that it would be a great thing that sub 250 racing, you could race with a Great Discus, and I'm going to be making a pod like from the 5 inches. I'm going to make a pod version of the Great Discus for racing at a 50-degree angle. That's just super simple. You shove an ant light in there. It's at 50 degrees. They'll all come like that, and you just shove the cheapest camera in there because it's racing. Stick the pod on there, race with it, get used to it. Once you get to the point where you're not smashing and bashing it anymore, then you can like go into full pro racer mode and have no motor protection and all the performance. 4-inch props. These are 3.5-inch props on there. I just never mind that. But being able to have that 50-degree pod, then transfer it over to here and have probably the fastest sub 250 frame for racing out there.
I want to go fast.
Same thing with the 5 inches. So le push, le race. It's a 5-inch frame, monoplate, works really great. I have the pusher version and the racer version. I really fell in love with this thing at the races. It's just really great. It protects you. I smashed it about the whole race, and it's still going. Like, I don't even get to race a lot, but I'm actually super excited about releasing this drone. I think it's just the perfect race trainer. So we're going to be messing around with race pods for the little guys too. I think it'd be fun to have a 50-degree discus racer pod. We even have the 03 discus and the old Vista discus. And I messed around with aluminum too, which works well. Like, it's a 2.5 millimeter aluminum plate, and it ends up being 10 grams heavier than the carbon ones, but I think it kind of looks like a DeLorean. Later on, I might do some more of those, but they require a hefty order. So all of you guys that order anything from me, thanks a lot. It all goes back into it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on that. Very soon we're going to make a conversion. The disc is kind of started as a Crux 35 conversion. So I got a Crux 35 conversion kit where you just buy a Crux 35 and transfer it all over to a Great Discus. Very soon we're going to have the Psycho. And that's going to be basically, we're going to transfer the Mobula 8 over to the Psycho frame. We already have our little cinematic rig we're working on. This is going to be like kind of like a for fun, flying around freestyle at the park. You don't feel as comfortable flying a 3.5, so we have just a cute little transfer over. You take your Whoop, turn it into like a mini freestyle frame, and I think I'm probably going to put a DVR on there too, so that you can have somewhat decent analog footage without having to, worry about an action cam, but have something a little bit nicer to share with people if you want to. You've probably seen these flights already in HD, felt like sharing some analog footage. I am starting to feel that I like analog a lot more. I find it reliable, tough, great value, and I feel like it's not going anywhere. Because all these HD systems, firmware updates can be annoying.
They fixed it.
Losing your signal can be annoying.
It haunts me.
Having these crazy expensive VTXs die on you is annoying. And then sometimes people will look at like analog goggles and be like, if you buy a pair of Sky Zones or whatever, you're spending like $500 on these. Why would you do that when you could get a digital system? And in some ways, yeah, if you really care about like how it looks, but for me, I've always cared more about how it feels, and it feels amazing. I have HDZero setup and DJI, and these are the things that I like to grab. These are the things that I like the most. I like shoving this in my bag with my Radio Master pocket and one of my quads, and it makes me so happy. And all those other systems, a couple years go by, and then yeah, you can only fly that old stuff. The nice thing with analog is it's kind of been the same, and it's slowly gotten better, and there is better stuff, and you can still use like good electronics and everything. So you get a solid analog setup and you figure out how it works. Lots of the time the problems with analogs that people have is something's wrong with their setups. There's all these different parts, right? Like with the digital, you have the digital VTX with the built-in camera, and it's like if those are working, you're good. But with analog, there's a lot more kind of like fine-tuning and figuring out that perfect setup and figuring out like, is it my module? Is it my goggle antennas? Is it the antenna on my drone? Is it my VTX? And literally, like, sometimes, I'll tell you another little story. I had my VTX. It was mounted pretty like tightly inside this drone. Yeah, sometimes you have things set up a little bit too tight.
Get it right, get it right, get it tight.
After landing for about a year, I guess, it smacked and it pulled the electronics out. And right over here, there was a little capacitor. I was able to take the antenna and like manually resolder it in, but the part that was holding it was just a tiny little capacitor, and I shouldn't have done that. It was just like I didn't want to let go of this VTX because I knew it was working fine, but it's like it lasted for like a year. These are the VTXs that I sell for 45 American dollars, and I love them. They're just solid, and I run them at half power. They're a 1.6 watt VTX. I run them at 800, and they're great. But I should have just swapped it out for a new one, but I didn't. I did the quick fix, and it worked for a few flights. And then the other day, I was at a wedding, and I was flying around the beach. and then all of a sudden the connection started dying and I had to crash land, and thanks to that I killed my GoPro. It was very, very sad. That's the thing with FPV. It's fun to be able to fiddle and fix things, but sometimes you just gotta swap out for something new, because that $45 could have saved me whatever a naked GoPro 10 costs. This channel really doesn't make me anything compared to what I put into it. So if you become a member, or if you join my Patreon, or if you buy some stuff off me, it's greatly appreciated. Yeah, thank you, and enjoy the analog footage.
Всегда командую, я ощущаю слова твои в моей памяти тают. Мы